everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Perspective. So as I've mentioned many times in January, I am taking some time, since there are not many new releases, to go back and check out some of the games from 2012 that I missed for whatever reason. Maybe they weren't on Steam, maybe I just didn't get around to playing them. This is one such game that kind of fits into both categories. It wasn't available on Steam, and I didn't get a chance to play it. And the reason it wasn't available on Steam is because this is actually a creation of some DigiPen students. So those are the same, well, not the same guys, but people from the same institute that brought you the excellent Nitronic Russia about a year and a half, almost getting to the point where it's like a year or 2 years ago. At this point, I feel that was an excellent, like, free futuristic racing game, if you will. This is, yeah, from those students, so they're prohibited from selling it, so this is available for free if you are interested. But I'm rambling. What is Perspective? Perspective is a hybrid of a 2D platformer and a first-person puzzle platformer. Almost like if you took Portal, there's going to be a lot of Portal references and Quantum Conundrum elements in this that I'll probably reference, which might aggravate a lot of people. But combine that with like a 2D platform and you have Perspective. The game's totally inventive, and also, this is a personal issue, don't take this as a knock, but gives me incredible motion sickness, as Portal and Quantum Conundrum also did. So expect that this may be a little bit shorter than usual. But anyway, I'm going to continue my game. I've heard that it's quite short, possibly able to be beaten in just over an hour, possibly even a single sitting. And I've been playing this for about 35-45 minutes myself. So I don't know, maybe that's the ending right there. We're actually going to take a look at some levels that I've already done, because that's how I like to do things with respect to puzzle platformers. So let's get this out of the way. This is or one half of our main controlling element of Perspective is walking around, navigating the environment in this first-person perspective using WASD and our mouse. Now, you might be noticing this blue background here. This is what makes Perspective super unique and causes my brain to just hemorrhage constantly. What we have to do with these blue lines and our avatar here, who is also blue, which is not a coincidence, is line up these blue lines in such a way that if we imagine this is a 2D world, our avatar can actually traverse it. So as you can see, we've created a situation here where our avatar can move across these walls, because if you imagine this is a 2D plane, then these are just platforms that our avatar can easily get across. By the way, if our avatar touches orange, he dies. So that's the simplistic way to put it, is we change our perspective to navigate through the environment, and then we switch to our avatar's perspective and a 2D perspective in order to allow him to traverse the environment. And all of these arcade machines that you see are actually individual levels with their own puzzles that we are going to jump into here. So let's check out Compression Artifact. These are all levels that I've already done, so I like that it's easy enough to just go back and check out levels that you've already done. And it does take place, or is set up, organized in almost like a Portal-type way. Again, get ready for a cavalcade of Portal-type references. So, every level has like its own chamber, and once we get to the end, then that is the end. So we're just going to line up here, and as you can see, our avatar can now safely traverse this. And then if we move over to this side, getting some weird frame rate issues. I'm not sure if that's on the game's end or my end, but when I run it without fraps, it runs totally fine. So that might just be on my end. But basically, all we have to do, and I say all we have to do as if it's easy, but it's really not, is shift the environment and shift our own perspective in such a way that it's possible for our avatar to get to the end. This is not a good place to have our avatar set up. We're just going to move him a little bit over this way. This is a pretty simplistic level. Teaches you the basics of setting things up so that it's easy for you to navigate. Again, let me just demonstrate that if your guy touches orange like that, he dies. Now, there's not just like shifting perspective in 3D space in order to improve your ability to use these platforms. There's also the ability to change the size of your avatar. As you can see, if we get really close, he gets really tiny and he moves more slowly. But if we get further and further away, he gets larger and moves more quickly relative to the space around him. And this is something that's going to factor into a lot of the puzzles that we're going to deal with as well. So we've got this blue line here that we can't do anything about just now, unless we move over there, and then it is obscured by the wall. We're just trying to get our avatar into this square, which will end the level for us. We've got to find a way to get him basically switched over to the other side of the wall. I think we can just do it like this. Yeah, we'll just put him over here. And then in doing this, that should be easy. All right, so that's how you beat Compression Artifact. I'm not sure if there's multiple ways to go through each level. It seems like the kind of game where there's basically one or only a few, a subset of possibilities on the level that could lead you to the possible answer. But having not designed the game myself, I can't possibly say that. I gotta say, it's really remarkable. As negative as some of my experience with Perspective is, it all comes down to the fact that games like this, for whatever reason, frequently give me motion sickness. This is actually like a very triumphant game, especially considering it was designed by students. I can't overstate enough that this game has some incredible design. It's derivative of other puzzle platformers that I need not mention, I feel. Well, at the same time, having enough originality and enough of a unique game mechanic to be incredibly interesting and inventive in its own right, and to be genuinely challenging a lot of the time as well. Like, this game totally F's with your brain. This guy's back here, technically. The way we get him into the world, we just imagine it as if it's a 2D space. The game doesn't give me a headache, but it does constantly F with my brain. To be honest with you, these levels are a little bit too easy to show off much of the genius of perspective. So let's move our guy a little bit further along here, maybe into the second set of arcade machines / levels, and maybe we'll find something useful here. So we've got relativity and the pillar. The pillar is actually a really interesting level to show off kind of the differences, or I should say inventions with respect to... Oh, this isn't the same level I was thinking of. I'll show that level off a little bit later. But there are different level designs. It's not merely, you know, like every single level is not just, oh, walk behind the platform, rotate a little bit, and then it'll be safe to go. You do have to be a lot more inventive most of the time. Like, for example, on this level, it seems like, how are we ever going to get across this? Like, our guy cannot jump nearly high enough. It doesn't appear like we can really rotate ourselves into a better position to handle this, although maybe... You know, I can't say for sure because I find it hard to imagine it. No, we can't do that. So what do? Well, I think what we want to do on this level is actually, if we just move backwards enough, our guy's going to get large enough that he might actually be able to just platform over this. No, so I am clearly talking out of my ass. But if we get behind this platform, we might be able to line it up in such a way that we can use this platform to get over, like so. Excellent. So there are a lot of puzzles like that. Again, these ones are fairly early on in the game. It does get a little bit trickier, although I will admit, unlike, you know, Portal or Quantum Conundrum, which I know a lot of people think are easy, but for whatever reason, I have problems dealing with a lot of the time. I haven't really gotten stuck in this game. I found it reasonably good so far. And again, I apologize for the fact that the frame rate is getting wonky. Keep in mind that I'm not trying to shift the blame here at all, but keep in mind that this is a student game that is not commercially released, which could mean that perhaps it is less optimized, maybe. But again, it could just be my hardware's fault, although I've run more graphically intensive games than this and not run into any problems. So, this was actually a room that gave me a little bit of trouble. I'm just trying to remember what the hook is on this one. Here's the thing. We can bring our guy... Oh. We can bring our guy over here. What do we do with him after this point? We can't jump him, because if we jump him, he's just gonna touch the orange and die. I'm trying to imagine this is a 2D space again, which gets increasingly tricky. We could do something like this. This will create like some empty space. We should move him back just a little bit. If we like obscure the orange with the pillar, this will create some empty space, which will allow him to move on into here. And then I can just rotate him around like this. One second. He's obscured. How do I... There we go. Just make him a little smaller for now. Now, how do I get him out of here? I'll just move my perspective of this platform so that it's over there, and then he is going to be able to safely run away. Excellent! Alright, so we are going to get through this level. This is not the same level I thought it was, but it does have some invention of its own right as well. And of course, probably the next mechanic we're going to be dealing with is similar to just lining this up properly. So yeah, we'll get him onto this wall. This is probably the exit over here is my guess. Oh, I remember this one. This one was a pain in the ass as well. I actually don't remember how we did this. So we got to get over here, and then I think we've got to obscure, move him back, like to here. You can also, by the way, stop him in mid-jump if you wanted to. I don't think we want to in this situation, but you could do that if you wanted to. And then we have to have him, like, just jump over this right here. Oh, there's a blue in the middle. How do we do this? One second. I think we have him jump, and then we rotate, and then he can fall. Perfect, okay. So that might have been a situation where jumping was, if not necessary, at least useful for us in our position there. So let us move on to the level that I was going to talk about, just to demonstrate a little bit of the variety with respect to perspectives, puzzles here. What is it? The Climb? I think the Climb was the level. This is one that I think probably got a lot of attention. I haven't actually seen any other perspective videos, but I've seen a lot of YouTubers doing perspective videos lately. For example, Rockley Smile, and I believe Italics, aka like Gamer's Descent, did some as well. So the way we do this level, you might be thinking, let's just take a look at the basic architecture first. I don't want to speed through things and ruin the enjoyment of it a little bit. So this is all we have. We have this initial starting platform. We have this platform right here, and then we also have our exit up there. So you might be thinking, like, how the fuck are we ever going to get up there, given the geometry of this level? Well, what we have to do is consider this to be our starting position right here. Jump on top of the platform, and then you can see by moving closer to the platform, we actually make it appear larger and larger, you know, relative to ourselves and relative to our avatar. So what we have to do is jump up, And then we can move a little bit closer, and he's going to be a little bit higher. And again, imagine this is a 2D plane. So as we do this, he's getting closer and closer to the exit. So I guess 2D plane doesn't really make that much sense in this situation. But you get the idea, I think. So basically, imagine this is just like a star hanging in the sky in Mario. We're getting close enough that we can actually almost get it. And there we actually got it. So that's what I really like about levels like this. That level really kind of turned me on my head when I was trying to play it. It didn't take that long to figure out, but it's one of those really well-designed levels where once the solution is apparent, which doesn't take that long, it's not frustrating, but it does feel incredibly satisfying. So we'll probably play one more level over the course of this. Why don't we move our guy back here? Because again, I don't want to check out those new levels just yet. One, because I don't want to ruin levels at the end of the game unnecessarily, unless I was doing a Let's Play, which I won't because, again, this game gives me incredible motion sickness and I'm getting a little bit of nausea right now. Frame rate is absolutely not helping. Let's check out the floor is lava. I don't want to show off too many levels because that would ruin the game for a lot of people. You should definitely, if you're interested in, like, this level is the worst for my motion sickness, now I remember. If you're interested in checking this game out, you absolutely should, because again, it's totally free. And, you know, support the guys at Digipen. They've been making some really good stuff recently. It's actually really remarkable the kind of things that they've been creating, given the fact that they're students. I mean, Nitronic Rush, when it came out, was one of the best games. I think I named, in the Windies, I named it like the best free game of 2011, which I absolutely agree with, still to this day. But yeah, it's really impressive the kind of stuff that these guys are doing. Despite the fact that they're not being paid for it. I think they're doing good work. I'm not sure what they're putting in the water over there. But what we got to do here, we're gonna make our avatar as small as we can, which is right here, and then we're gonna move him as far out as we can. Should be right to the tip of the blue here. Because again, remember that this is not, if I go back to this position, this is not a 3D platform. This is just a 2D line. It's almost like we're walking on water. So we want to walk out as far as we absolutely can. That's gonna put him all the way over here on this wall. And then we'll be able to pick him up on this water over here. This level's called The Floor is Lava because obviously, well, the floor kind of is lava here. I didn't actually notice those textural effects. I mean, the game, graphically, it looks fine. I was gonna mention that it looks very simplistic, and I mean, that's totally fair. It does look very simplistic, but it looks clean, and it works for a game like this. I mean, all the elements of the game are very clear, and that's something that is a pet peeve for me when that is obscured. Blue is good, orange is bad, everything else is pretty sensical, and I think it's kind of necessary to have obvious elements like that in a game like this where, to be honest with you, the difficulty comes from like wrapping your brain around the fact that you've probably never played a game quite like this before. Anyway, we're gonna continue moving our dude around here. It's truly inventive. I'm not sure. I'll probably eat shit because someone will be like, oh, actually, Mega Cure was designed before this and blah, 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 blah. I'm not, you know, shit-talking the creator of Mega Cure, which is not even out yet. That would be pretty irresponsible. I'm just saying, you know, there's probably, in the whole scheme of things, there's probably a game out there that I'm not familiar with, which functions in a similar way. How do we get to the exit here? This is the one that is going to boggle my mind a little bit. Do we want to... I think maybe what we want to do... First off, back up a little bit. Oh, not that much. Like this. We're going to back up a little bit so that our guy can jump on this platform. Push him out as far as he can go. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to push him out as far as he can go. And we're going to make him bigger like... Oh, no. Here's what we're going to do. Get him back on the platform. Then we're going to jump him like that. And then we should be able to, you know, quote-unquote, catch him on this platform potentially. Excellent. All right. So having caught him on this platform, we should be able to move him towards the exits. If I just take my sweet time here... Get him over, and now it is basically safe for him to go. Again, you can see the exit there. Imagine it is a 2D plane. In any case, this has been Perspective. I realize this is kind of a short video. Please have some sympathy on myself and my girlish stomach. Also, if you're a girl and watching this, no offense, I don't have any statistical data to back up whether or not you're more likely to experience motion sickness than males. It was just an easy joke, low-hanging fruit, and I apologize to the audience for that. But in any case... This is Perspective. It's available for free if you are into games like Quantum Conundrum and Portal and other such first-person platformers. I would absolutely recommend you check this out. It's fucking free. Go check it out. You can search Perspective Game on the internet, or I will put a link in the video description which you can click if you want to download the game totally for free. But in any case, this is a very, very accomplished game considering the state of its creators. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a very, very... flattering way. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys can do when they graduate, assuming they still work together in some context. But in any case, yeah, Perspective, absolutely check it out. One of the best free games of 2012 for sure. And in any case, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.